Welcome to Champagne Sunday. I'm Lauren.
Hey, I'm Bonnie.
I'm Beth.
And we're going to talk about life
After divorce.
And living
The best life.
and the life you love.
Yes, living the life you love on that other side.
Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome.
2019, that's when I moved here.
Do we
That,
go
where
through
do
the
I
list?
want to be? Yes.
Okay.
Where do I want to be? And I moved here.
Yeah.
Like 2019 was back to Beth Burns. I decided what makes me tick. Like
Yeah.
what do I need? What do I actually need to feel more like me? So I wrote that list January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I met a guy and started dating somebody else. He's the one that told me to keep up. What did he say? Keep a space open on my dance card. And now he just got engaged.
Nice.
That's going under the dating column. But anyway, I had started a whole different, like, out with the old boyfriend. I quit. I bought this house. I quit my job. I brought Mary Burns down here every afternoon to try out for cheer so she'd have a group of friends when she moved into school.
Mm-hmm.
I just said, I'm done. I got to move. I got to have a change of scenery. I can't be in the same town. So I came home. So I joined the church as soon as I bought this house.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the next week.
So your list is, who am I? What is your list? You made a
what's the
list,
first
which one?
question?
So what were the questions on there?
Oh my goodness, I have to look this up because it's not in a folder. Here it is. Back to Beth Burns. What do I love? Like what?
Okay, and this kind of goes back to the one we talked about, your sunshine.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do I love would be a ray on our sunshine. Like
who
it would
do I
be,
love?
Okay.
Like who am I? Who do I
Who's
want to
important to you?
surround myself with? Who am I living for? Who am I doing for? I'm not. This is also the year that I cut out anybody that was a negative person in my life. They were gone.
I feel like I already did that.
It took a while.
I feel like I did that in the last
and
year.
it feels brutal, but I did mine over the course of a couple of years.
Yeah.
And you don't realize when you get into a pattern of negativity, sometimes you don't realize that you're there until you're all the way down. I mean, it's pretty bad. But then I did, what do I need? What do I really need?
Mm-hmm.
So, in more than just what do you need to physically stay alive and be self-sufficient,
But like in a
what
house.
do you need to be happy? What do
Yeah.
you need to be a complete person and have everything you need in life?
And see, in 2016, I closed my shop, which was my happy place. It's where I had all these creative people came in. It served as my workshop, retail space, wholesale space. I just couldn't. I just chopped it all off for the divorce. And so 3 years later, I'm sitting there thinking, I just chopped off my arm, my whole creative process. And for a creative person, that's not a good thing to do.
No, it's the worst.
You cannot go forward if you can't do that. And then, what do I want? And where do I want to be? I was a transplant in this town. It was a lovely town. I loved the town of Columbia. But it also represented the second time that I had moved with my marriage.
Mm-hmm.
My ex had decided at one point, I'm not doing this anymore. I was in a tennis league. I had a little friends club. And then we moved. And then we moved back. Everything was at his whim. And I didn't feel like I ever had a say in where I even lived.
Yeah.
And so I just thought, where do I really want to be? And my dad was getting older. My brother's here. I just thought, circling my wagons.
Right.
Going home. And then, who do I want to be? That's the big question.
Yeah.
Who do I want to be? I mean, you grow up, you give up a lot when you get married.
Mm-hmm.
You give up your name. Most women give up their name. Then you're somebody's wife. Then you have children and you're somebody's mom. I even had a pin made when Carson was little that said Carson's mom because nobody bothered to even know my name. They just knew my child.
You give up your freedom.
You give up everything.
So I'm about to have a serious hot take. This is a big hot take. When I was in Europe this last week and I befriended this woman that I was on the tour with that I didn't know before and we just hit it off. We had the biggest time. But in our several days of spending time together, I'm a parent to a young son. He's 8. She's a parent to a young daughter who's 7. And I said, I don't enjoy parenting. I don't like it. Like, it's not fun. Like, it's not that I don't love my kid. I love him more than life itself. I think he is the best human who's ever existed. I love him so much. Parenting, like that job, is not fun. It is not a fun time. And that's a hot take. Like, it's the thing we're not supposed to say we don't like doing. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do.
And she was like, oh
And
my
it's
God,
even
thank you.
harder
She
with
was
no
like,
one
thank you
else.
for saying that. And I said, I feel like I'm not supposed to say it. But it's not like, it's this thing we're all supposed to kind of do. And then we do it. And it's not that I don't love him with every inch of my existence. Because he's my little best friend. Like, I love him. But like, that's not a part of my life that like, it's my first identifier. Like, I don't think of myself as, this is seriously. But I don't think, oh, first and foremost, I'm a mom. That's not.
See, and I miss that.
I don't.
I
think
miss
of that.
being the mom. That's how I totally bought into all of
But
that.
also,
But I miss it, and I don't have it anymore.
I never
but
first and foremost thought of myself as a wife either.
no,
I have always first and foremost thought of myself as an artist. And that's
See.
always what I'll be.
See, and that is totally the frame of mind I need to get into.
And that's what I need
because
to get into
I always thought that my life would not be complete if I was not a wife and a mother. I always thought that no matter like having a career was never really. I mean, I would if I needed to, but really, I was the 1990s person in college for the MRS, I guess, because I really thought my life couldn't start till I met that person, and I was going to meet that person in college. I didn't feel complete, which is ridiculous, I know, but I didn't, and so But now at this point in time, I realize how kind of backwards that was. And I don't know why I felt like that, but I need to be an artist first. And everything else kind of needs to fall in line under that.
That's always been my first identifier, and it's always why I felt so uncomfortable in the other roles. Like, not that, because part of this is because I wasn't married to my best friend. Like, I wasn't married to a person who
supported that.
Who I connected with that way.
You could be yourself with.
No. 100%.
Do you think that's a generational thing? Because you are younger than we are. And I think that maybe that is because I think...
Did you feel like you had to be married?
I didn't feel like I had to be married to be me. I assumed that when I got married, I would be marrying my best friend, and he would be very supportive of my artistic.
I thought that
my artistic endeavors, but that's not what happened at all.
Well, I thought that my person, that when I married my husband, that he would get to know me so well because we were married, we were living in the same place. We spent all this time together. He would get to know me so well that he would just appreciate who I was and support what I wanted. And instead, I got this man who was like, yeah, no, that's okay. I really don't want to know you that well. And I had no idea. But if I had that attitude that I am me first, and I am an artist first. Like, I have this identifier that is like, being an artist is something that's only about you. Yeah. So to have that identifier as me first, and then have those other identifiers that layered on, would have been life-changing for me.
I will say, so I had the benefit of having parents that did not force me into anything. Like, I didn't grow up with two parents that said, you need to get married, or you need to
See, I didn't either. I put all that on myself.
I grew up with parents who were like, you need to get as much education as possible.
That was mine too. I did this to myself. I mean, my parents probably would be shocked to know that I wanted to be married, that was my thing. They'd probably like that, but that wasn't what we wanted for you.
When I got married, I think that the person I was in a relationship with expected that the part of me that was an artist when he first met me was a fleeting, silly thing that would eventually go away, and that I would be normal. I don't know I don't know.
Different.
But the fact that I was gone for rehearsals every night, or out of the house a lot, was not something that jived. But that's not me, and that's not who he married. So there was no way to reconcile that, because I was always going to be me. There was not going to be any changing that. So
and see, I set aside all my stuff for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then I only had a needlepoint shop after the fact. After the affair, I should say.
Thank y'all for joining us for Champagne Sunday.
See you next week, girls.
See you next week. Yeah, cheers.
Have a good week.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.